Threw in the pal. Threw in the pal.
Hi!
Hi, join in. How many people ever heard of the pals?
That threw me for 6. I wasn't ready for that.
Welcome to
at
Throw
all.
in the Pal. My name is Frank.
My name is Marcus.
My name is Tom.
It's a short and sweet. We're talking about Ick Actors.
What does ick mean?
What does ick mean?
I'm glad you asked me. I think it means like people you don't like them. They're gross.
It's a guttural sound, right? It's
Yeah.
like a ugh.
Ick.
Well, that's ick. Ugh.
You
is
don't.
ugh.
You don't want to lick. You want to ick, which is not.
No,
lick.
it's the opposite. You don't want to lick them either.
That's what I'm saying.
It's like
it's like the opposite. You
like
want
a
to
yuck
lick
ick?
someone if you like them, but you don't want to. So it's an ick.
Oh.
I think that's what the kids are saying.
No, for real. Does anyone know where this stemmed from?
I think
How?
it's like
Stem.
some sort of like Riz incident. that
Yeah,
might
yeah,
happen.
Riz being short for-
or a Riz
Incident.
Riz being short for charisma. What is ick?
Ick. Oh, ick is no. It literally is just this idea of like giving you the ick.
It's
is
icky.
something that makes
Icky.
you. Yeah. Icky.
How are they doing this?
How
are the kids doing this?
This cabal of young people getting together, skibbiting their toilets. Ugh.
God. Okay, Ick Actors.
Who wants to go?
Actors.
Who wants to go first?
Actors.
If you let me go,
Ictors
I won't
is good.
stop.
Ictors is fun.
all I'm going to say.
You have a big list.
I do have a big list.
I've only got 4.
I kept going. I
So
wrote
wh-
down one, and I was like, "Yeah, but you know what?
Well, let's go in line. Oh, well, this is coming off the back.
Just Vanessa Hudgens 10 times.
We spoke about Anthony Mackie in the Hurt Locker,
did.
and that was his redemption from an. I thought he was an ick actor for me in his Marvel days, which is how I saw them. And now I've seen Hurt Locker recently, and he's redeemed himself to be now off the ick actor list.
I don't think that disqualifies them from being ick."
I think it does, and also as we've just discussed, ick has no real meaning, so we can say whatever we want here.
My feeling on it is that I can still feel ick about this particular actor. They can give a good performance. I'll be like, "Well done, good for you. You've gone above my expectations on this. However, you're still gross to me."
Okay.
Can I ask a bit of a side question just
Sure.
because I have an answer for this on one of mine who falls into this category?
Okay.
Is he your ickiest Marvel actor?
Ooh,
Yes.
Okay. Marcus?
probably. Yeah.
See,
actually.
mine's Aaron Taylor Johnson, without a doubt.
What?
Why is he ick?
I just don't like him.
Really?
very much.
Okay.
I just find Aaron Taylor Johnson pretty off-putting. That said,
Is that because he's married
such
to
a shame.
he's go on
He's because of his wife and that whole relationship?
because
Is that-
he's got a wife.
his wife's and she's like 18 years older than him.
Grand wife. I think they're splitting.
Grand wife.
Grand wife is what you just said.
It's
That's
right.
a shame.
She's very grand.
They
I think
probably
they're
are.
splitting, yeah.
What is her name? Sam Johnson? I can't remember. But she directed
She's
him in a
direct-
film
yeah.
where he played young
John
John
Lennon?
Lennon. I can't know
Nowhere boy.
And he was a bit young.
Nowhere boy.
This is the idea, but that's not really. I don't really think much about his private life. More, I just mostly see him and don't enjoy him. I liked him in Kick-Ass when I was younger. I haven't seen it in years. Angus Thongs and Perfect Snogging, like that's exactly what he's meant to be doing. Most films I see him in, as you guys know, I didn't like. I thought Bullet Train was absolutely fine, straight down the middle. He's not the part of it I liked. I didn't like him very much.
He's had a weird coming of age. Like his adolescent films and stuff was where I think he was so
doing
likable.
pretty well,
Like,
but I don't like
I'm
him.
so excited for him as Craven the Hunter. I think he's going to
A
be.
sentence I've never heard a
Amazing.
single person say.
I am. I genuinely am.
I'm very
I can
glad
see
to hear
why.
that.
I can see why.
I'm really interested to see how that
It's
I
such
disagree.
a good character and a actor who I think is equipped for it.
I don't think it will be.
I don't enjoy him very much.
I know I'm the MCU fanboy. I don't think Craven's going to be any good.
Okay.
What is he, Quicksilver or whatever?
Yeah, he is Quicksilver.
Yeah, I don't really care about his
Nah,
character
who
in
cares
that.
about
And
that?
then
Keep up,
he
old man.
occasionally shows up in things like Tenet. And I'm like, okay.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I don't hate him in that. I'm just like, oh, okay, he's fine. Whatever. Right. So Aaron Taylor Johnson's mine
He's
from
very
Marvel.
likely going to be our Bond.
There's a chance, I'm sure.
Yeah, sure.
He's-
He'd be
he's
good as that, I
number
think.
one.
I think he's a bit too...
Handsome.
Boyish?
Like he's
Sporty?
Sorry, not
too sporty?
A bit too modelly. Maybe I think he's too pretty. I don't know if they're going to go with a pretty Bond, but maybe
okay.
they will. Who knows?
Okay.
Anyway,
Yeah,
Marcus,
Daniel Craig was hideous.
you want to go?
This
Pierce
is not
Brosnan,
necessarily in
hideous.
order, but I'm just going to go. All right.
Go on. I can see the
right.
list and I just want to hear it out loud.
All right. Hugh Jackman was one of the first names that went down the list.
Such a, yeah.
He just rubs me the wrong way on screen every time I see
Tell him
I'm
then.
like,
Get him to rub you the right way.
He'll make you sign an NDA first.
James Corden, we have to agree. We have to agree on James
James
Corden.
Corden is the.
You mean James Corden from Cats?
You're a
I don't
horrible,
particularly-
He
I don't-
is
human
the
being.
ick.
I don't particularly like James Corden.
No. What do you particularly
Anthony
like?
Mackie,
Yeah, okay.
Tom Cruise.
No,
Disagree.
I think Tom Cruise is.
Yeah, but keep going.
I love Tom Cruise films. Just for the listener, I love his films. I just can't stand Tom Cruise.
Okay.
Okay, hold on. This is the thing. Do we hate them? Because for me, an ick actor is you watch them in the movie and you go, ugh.
A little bit.
But
I'm kind of like
should the personal life come into it?
No, I don't think that's it either.
Okay.
I think I see Tom Cruise come on screen and I immediately like recoil. Do you know what I mean?
No,
And I'm like,
I just
I know this is going to be a great film, and like, yeah, sure, he's going to do, I guess, a service to the character he's playing, but I just don't. He smiles, and I'm like, I feel my
yeah, we can
fist
see
clench.
it. We can see it. We know what's about to happen.
Jared Leto.
Yeah, awful.
Jared Leto's up
So
there
much
for
of
me.
his again, there's so much of his personal life has come into it, and like the folklore around him as the Joker, and
Yep.
because
Yeah, sorry, go on. Because
you continue.
his 90s are pretty incredible. When
Yes.
I go back and watch 90s movies and Jared Leto shows up, I'm like, he was kind of on one in the 90s. Fucking American Psycho. That's it. No, Fight Club, Thin
Requiem
Red
for a
Line,
Dream.
Requiem for a Dream.
He can act. He's a talented
had
man.
a-
30 Seconds to Mars.
That's
he
not
can
my
sing.
problem.
Like
Yeah.
he's a talented person.
And good songs as well.
Well, if you're into that kind of music,
I like everyone. I like the kid. That's about it.
I don't think everyone likes that song.
I
But
think-
let's move on. Next.
Go on,
I'll
Marcus.
go
You
quick
got
fire because I don't want to drag this
Go on.
out. Rebel Wilson, Amy Schumer, Ellen DeGeneres, right? Yeah.
We're not going to
Now,
put.
Ellen, I'll admit, Ellen's is more stemming toward the personal stuff, right?
Yeah.
When you watch Finding Nemo, surely you're like, that's Dory.
She's very endearing.
Yeah, she's
Yeah,
great. as
Super
Dory.
endearing. So I guess
She built a career
maybe
off it.
scrap her from the list because she doesn't really qualify for what we're discussing.
Sure.
Yep.
Gerard Butler. Something about that man I just can't stand every time he's on screen.
Probably his surname.
Is it? Yeah, no, you're right.
I was about to say it's more because he's taking roles from you, Marcus. But yeah, continue.
And then now two new additions to my list. Sydney Sweeney.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Why? Just don't think she's talented. Think
Not
she's
at
famous
all.
for the wrong
I
reasons.
just, a little bit.
I think she has her
I think
skills.
she's had an outstanding performance in Euphoria. I think that she's done well.
seen it.
She played the role that she was given, and she did it very well.
Yeah.
Like, be hard not to see her doing that. Outside of that, I just don't think there's much to her at all.
I would like to see her in more things. I think her performance in Anyone But You is pretty awful. Like actively, not even just like, this is kind of mid. You're
Yeah.
like, I don't know what's happening.
I
here.
feel like
It's a
half the
strange
time she's
performance.
asleep or stoned or something. And there's just
Staring,
something really
I-
off about
I
her.
think she translates.
Set up the bottom window.
Speaking of roles that got taken away from people.
Yeah, I could have done that. Me and
Glenn.
Glenn Powell. Who's Glenn Powell?
Glenn Powell.
Glenn.
I think that her idea for that role was what makes women in rom-coms endearing is mania. And it's like, it's a fine balance. And I don't think she nailed it. You're like, you seem difficult to be around. Whereas Glenn Powell in that movie, you're like, what a charmer.
He's very
Couldn't
charming.
wait to hang
Yeah,
out with
no,
that guy.
I agree.
She's very strange in that film.
And last one, Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
Sure.
Couldn't
Yeah.
agree more.
Wow.
He's
Wow.
had such a fall from grace.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I was Team Dwayne for a long time, and something happened.
It's
I don't know
Black
when it
Adam.
changed.
Black Adam happened.
that what it was?
That was the
pivotal
major
moment?
turning point. Obviously, the oversaturation. He was everywhere. He's in everything, and he's so like, "Hey guys, I'm doing my job." He's doing his selfie
There's no
videos.
levels
I can't
to
do
that
an impression.
either.
No levels. He can't really act. That's a problem. I think he's all right and be cool, but
It's a good performance. Truly.
and when he was doing Black Adam, and he's doing like the power in the DC universe is about to change.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, yeah, cool. And then Black Adam comes out and it sucks.
Never
and you're
seen
like,
it.
nothing. Well,
Never seen it.
no one saw it. It fucking bombed dramatically.
Yeah, it was bad.
Idiot. Anyway, so he's
Frank,
Yeah,
how
super
about yours?
ick.
I've still got a couple in my back pocket. But you
Go,
gotta go.
I've talked enough, please.
Anne Hathaway
Yeah,
is
I
my
get it.
main one.
Used to be for me and now not anymore. But because as you know, we've talked about it 1,000 times, she looked so much like my sister growing up that I would just be like, I don't.
I've never seen him in the same room at the same time.
That's what I say. That's what I've said. Right?
Whoa.
Sorry, I just have what used to be a vision board at home, and now it's just become string tied to my sister and Anne Hathaway.
They are the same person.
It was insane, and now kind of not so much. Now, when I see Anne Hathaway in her movies now, and my sister now, I'm like, no, they're so different. And so I watch movies of
Agreed.
hers now, and I think she's actually kind of fabulous.
Agreed.
But I didn't like her when I was young.
She's so annoying. But she's good in Les Mis. I don't know how to explain
That's
it.
it's such a weird
Diamond
take.
in the rough.
I just-
Diamond in the rough.
Most Anne Hathaway performance is the one you like.
Yeah,
Okay.
it doesn't make any sense. I find it so
That's
annoying.
so true.
Kevin Spacey,
Now, is this personal life?
it has to be. But it's also like,
Would
yeah.
you? I love Kevin as an actor. I think he's a phenomenal actor. One of my favorites.
He's icky.
Always will be.
And personal friend of yours.
No. No.
No.
But do you not think he's a great actor?
He's good.
But he
Doesn't mean he
gives
doesn't
you
have,
the-
yeah, doesn't mean, yeah.
No, that's
Gives me-
fine. Yeah, that's what we're talking about.
I've always been a bit rocky on Kevin Spacey. He's never been my
You mean
guy. He's given a
Sylvester Stallone?
couple of
Come on.
he's been in a couple of films or given a couple of performances I think are really, really, really good.
Sure.
One of them off the top of my head.
Horrible
is,
Bosses 1.
Sorry.
Horrible Bosses 1.
Deployed well.
I'm sure. I think he's
Deployed
really
well.
good in Glengarry Glen Ross, but that is that film, right?
Yep.
Where he's
guffy down.
actually exceptional in LA Confidential.
Yep.
Like in a stacked cast, is he the best performance in that movie? Maybe.
Might not be acting.
Well, yeah,
That
that's-
might be the most real
that's
Kevin
the,
Spacey
that's the
we
thing.
see,
The
right?
most arrogant shit he does in films, the more he's just this entitled, seething prick. You're like, yeah, great work. Showing up. Like,
Yeah.
you know, that's what you did.
Yeah, but and then looking back now, we go, ooh. At
Yeah.
the time, you were like, wow.
I just love
that's
LA
tricky thing.
Confidential.
For the
so
record,
much.
one of many. He's not,
Yeah.
He's not the
Ezra
only Kevin
Miller.
Spacey.
Speaking of Ezra Miller,
He's on the list.
yes, they are. They like Perks of Being a Wallflower, Breakout, amazing. I thought really likable, fun time, and then just woohoo, awful.
Gone in a flash.
Very
Nice.
good.
Good
Jesse
line.
Eisenberg.
Yeah, that's a common one.
Yeah.
I think.
I like Eisenberg. I think Eisenberg's terrific in a handful of things. I have to admit, I haven't seen him in a
Handful.
lot.
What?
The Social Network is an incredible performance.
Yeah, that's one. That's
If
not a handful.
you ran into Jesse Eisenberg in a bar, would you go up to him?
If I ran into him, it sounds like I've probably like
With
to
my
apologize
knife
to him.
10 times. would you go up to him?
I don't think I'd do that with almost any celebrity.
yeah, no.
Okay. If
Is
he
what I
sat
want
down
to-
at your table at a restaurant
Yeah.
and started talking to you,
Seems
would you
unlikely.
immediately get up and leave?
No. What do you mean?
Would you?
No.
No, he's not one of my Ick actors. I'm
Why
sure.
would I
So
get
you
up
think
and
an
leave?
ick actor? I don't think I'd do that for almost anyone though. Like Kevin Spacey, yes, I'd be like, this is I'm not at all.
I've been
getting-
groomed.
whatever
I've been
this
groomed.
is. But almost anyone you guys have said, even if I don't like their performances,
Yeah, okay.
I wouldn't seek out Jesse Eisenberg. Like if there was a meet and greet at a thing I happened to be at, and they were like, oh, there's 10 actors and one of them's Jesse Eisenberg. I'd be thinking there's probably 9 more that I'm more excited to meet than Jesse Eisenberg. But
Absolutely.
like he's
Yeah.
been in some good things. I like him in the end of the tour.
I liked him in Zombieland.
Zombieland's a great performance.
Fun time.
You know.
Adventureland, bad.
Adventureland is a good movie. Sorry.
Okay.
Sorry.
Well, but he's bad in it.
I don't think he is. I think he's good.
Okay, and Nicole Kidman is another one on my list. I
Oh, can I put her on my
loathe
list?
I will never share this with you guys. I
She's
think
on my
Nicole
list.
Kidman's exceptional. I think she's had an incredibly rocky last, Sylvester Stallone, last 10 years, but I think she had an incredible 90s and 2000s, and even some of the 2010s.
What about John Travolta? Do we think he's on the list?
But again, we're blurring the lines here, I think, on terms of.
You guys don't like her persona.
I think that she's talented if used right.
I think she's ick on, even in
Yeah.
the things she's good, I find her ick.
I see her visually, or she walked into a room, I'd be like, oh, fucking Nicole Kidman's here.
I'm getting a little bit that way now, and without being rude, I will say, like,
She's made some interesting choices.
she has developed a very particular look in the last few years, and I watched that.
Her plastic surgeon is bad.
Yes,
That's
I
what we're
watched
saying.
that
Yeah.
movie with Zac Efron that I told you about.
His plastic surgeon is bad.
I already can't remember what it's called. The movie on Netflix.
Yeah, what is it?
Whatever. When Nicole
Here's my
Kidman-
assistant, and I'm singing in the car.
Yes. Yeah.
Do you believe?
Joey King is his assistant, and Joey King's mum is Nicole
Yeah,
Kidman
yeah,
and Zac Efron. And
yeah.
Whatever. I watched it, and Nicole Kidman's appearance and performance in that movie is bizarre. It's not even. It's just like I don't know what was going on this day. So I'm looking forward to her one day giving another great performance.
She's starting to look mid-transition Michael Jackson, is all I'm going to say.
quite a call. Quite a call.
With red hair.
I just want to give one shout out. Lucy, we were talking about this last night. I was talking about this with Lucy. She was like, she's got 2, John Cusack and Laura Linney. And Kevin, she hates Kevin Spacey, of course.
Laura
But
Linney?
John Cusack.
Yeah, I was like, they're interesting because I kind of like John Cusack. I think he's fun, except for in 2012. That's
He
ridiculous.
holds such a special place in my heart.
Why,
I love
High
him
Fidelity?
so anything. I don't care. He's like Mum and Pete. They talk about like barbecue friends. Like who'd you invite to a barbecue if you could? Like John Cusack.
Kevin
would be
Spacey.
on my
Oh no,
barbecue
sorry.
list.
Sure.
Someone you'd want there just as like chatter.
because this episode has in some ways taken
Bruce.
1 foot like into the puddle of just gossip.
Yeah.
I will tell you, John Cusack is one of the most despised actors in Hollywood. Like people say he's the biggest douchebag. Like he is really held up as a guy that people hate. However, some of his stuff in the 90s is wonderful. There are a couple of films.
What about
It's upsetting, isn't it?
Right.
Yeah.
What about Laura Linney? Do you guys like
I
her?
love Laura Linney a lot. I think Laura Linney's wonderful. I love that 30 Rock bit where Liz Lemon's like, Laura Linney could have played me in a TV movie. Like, that would have been perfect casting for Liz Lemon, you know?
Not really, but okay, sure. She's bad in Love Actually, but that might be the fault of
I don't think she's bad in that
Love
movie.
Actually. What?
I think she's good in that
Oh,
movie.
darling. Ugh. Ick.
How
Tell me
dare
that's not
she-
Ick.
How dare
She's
she care for
great.
her brother?
Ozark is phenomenal.
Never
She's
seen
so.
it.
Yeah.
What? What are we talking about here? We should talk about actors we like. I want to talk positively.
We keep doing this. We keep getting into
Yeah,
a thing
yeah.
where we're just like,
The
we're just shitting on
nastiness.
things.
Just shitting on
and
people.
so now
The
here
nasty
goes
underground.
mine if you guys are ready.
Yeah, go.
All right, really quick. Did Aaron Taylor Johnson.
Yeah.
Everyone knows my feelings about Tiles Meller, although I have to admit when
I knew you were going to say
when I
Tiles.
look at him, he is one of those examples where I'm like, I just don't think I like the look of him. I've barely seen any movies with him in it. And he's exceptional in Whiplash, but that's a perfect role for him. Like the use of this entitled prick, right? I also really, really, really have a hard time with Christian Slater, which is funny
Yeah.
because
I thought about Ick, but just like, ugh, what?
yes. Well, you are dressed like his character from Mr. Robot today, right now, which is kind of
Excuse
crazy.
me for wearing a hoodie and a hat.
Truly, have you seen Mr. Robot?
No.
This is Christian Slater in the entire TV show. It's really wild how much Frank looks like
Wow.
him. And he's awful in that show. He's awful in his role in The West Wing. He's on Archer for a season.
Yes.
I fucking got so upset once he was in that. I can't stand his voice.
wow,
and his
This
little,
is so. This is like.
Christian Slater pisses me off.
I don't
let's move
disagree
on.
either. I think it's a
Even
good choice.
true romance. Okay,
Next.
this is my last one, which is
Oh.
an actor that I would normally just be like whatever about, but she's given one of the worst performances I've ever seen, and so every time she shows up in something, I like clench and
Taylor
grab
Swift.
the seat. No, though I've never seen a movie with her in it.
Valentine's Day. She's actually kind of funny.
Oh, she's in that?
Yeah, her and Taylor Lautner
I
play
watch that
lovers,
every
which is when
Halloween.
they were dating.
Go on.
On average, once a year.
Andy McDowell. Her performance in Four Weddings and the Funeral is one of the worst performances in the history of film. And it is
Wow.
It is
Yes.
really bad. And
Horrendous.
so I watched it again the other day with Catherine. I was like, I don't remember this being so like such a charming film, and she is
She almost
trying to
rules it.
derail
She
it.
tried. Yeah, they're trying to railroad her.
Four Weddings.
She-
and then I watch Groundhog Day a few weeks later, forgetting she's in it, and she shows up on screen, and I gasped. I was
Yeah.
like,
Oh, no.
What's she got like a jump scare? And then she's kind of fine in that, but because I'd seen her in that, and then I watched Ready or Not, the film with the Australian girl Samara Weaving.
Oh yeah.
A horror film with her in it from a few years ago, and Annie McDowell's in it as the matriarch, and she's actually kind of funny in it, and it was a bit of a redemption where I was like, oh, she's pretty good in this. But generally, Annie McDowell, just that one performance,
It's purely like tainted her
it's
entire career.
So bad. She's so bad in that movie.
Wow.
So yeah, those are our Ick actors. We like some. Promise.
Who do we like?
Oh, I got one more. No, I got one more. It just popped into my
Go
head,
on.
but it's mainly after one performance he did in Love Actually. It's Oh no!
wait, can
what
I
is
guess?
that? Yeah. Give me his name.
It's not Alan Rickman.
no,
it's
from,
not.
from The Walking Dead.
Oh yeah, it's Rick. What is
yeah,
his
he
actual
sucks.
name? God, I watched that show for so long and I couldn't tell you the actor's name.
I have
Carl.
my version. Yeah,
Carl.
My
You
version
better
of
I've
how
only seen the meme of that. I don't know what the sound is. I was just seeing him going.
It is him going, no! Like, it is him making that noise.
my version of hell is having to watch that scene from Love Actually on repeat.
Andrew Lincoln.
Andrew Lincoln, when he leaves his apartment after Keira Knightley has that revelation, and the song plays,
Yeah.
and he's doing the like.
And he goes, enough. Oh, no. Oh,
Yeah.
and he's like punching himself and
Yeah, he's
going
walking
over
down the
top.
street. And he's like, "Do I go back? Do I? What am I? Oh, I can't believe I just went through that." One of the worst scenes ever.
I
in
agree.
my
That's
opinion.
overdone. I think it's
bad.
I know people hate Love Actually and find it too twee and kind of sickening. I like the scene where he comes to the door and has the cards. I like it. I don't care. I like.
Okay, stop.
What is wrong with
I
you?
might have to review this film.
No way.
Everyone thinks it's so good. I hate Love Actually now.
All right,
because they don't
leave
like
it.
fun.
Don't ruin it. Don't ruin the fun.
Actually good.
Oh dear. Okay.
You're an idiot. That's
great.
that's the worst part of it. That's the worst.
Don't ruin it. Leave it. Save it.
Sorry.
Oh.
Well, that was Ick Actors. I guess we're done. God. That was
My favourite eps end with Frank being mad.
Let's do a positive
Every
one soon.
episode.
Yeah, it is every ep, isn't it?
That's you like that bit, just like you like the mirror bit and Face Off. God,
Good movies. You're
dumb.
talking about.
You're a dumb
Two
person.
movies in a row. You've
You're
just
a
mentioned.
dumb man.
I'm sorry.
You should be. Hey, thanks for listening.
Jump on our socials, tell us how dumb Tom is.
Yeah, dumb.
Through the power.
You do the credits. You do the
Okay.
credits.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Throwing the Power. It was short and sweet. We were talking about our Ick actors. You know, the actors you just don't know if you like them, you don't know if you do, or when you see them in a movie and then you're like, Ick, this guy's on the screen. What am I going to do? Or maybe it's a gal instead and you're just watching, sitting there in the cinema and you're not allowed to get out because they have armed guards at the door now, and that's how cinemas work today, people. Thanks to my co-hosts.
Through the power.
Not a tumor.